I just went through my phone, and that's how it started. And everybody, everybody showed up that I asked to show up, which I appreciate everyone. So I'm saying that to say how we started wasn't necessarily, what we had in mind is not necessarily what, how it started. And it grew and it morphed to what you see today. And we're still growing, we're still evolving and changing and tweaking and pivoting, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. And I've been enjoying it, bro. I literally enjoyed the best satisfaction for me, bro, is, I travel, all the time. And even here in LA, when I go places and people recognize me, because the thing is, the power of social media is crazy. When you talk about, I went viral on TikTok, I went viral on Facebook, on all the platforms. At some point, I've had a few moments, and so I was talking with Ice-T one day, and I was like, man, it's crazy. I said, because, I go places, and I was like, about 6 times out of 10, no matter where I go, somebody recognizes me. And I was like, I don't even got that many, my ecosystem of people that follow me is only about 300,000-400,000. So it's not like I got millions of followers. And he said, but Court, you got to remember, you got to understand. He was like, I see you damn near every time I open my social media. He was like, but if you think about those clips, and then when I thought about it, I said, oh shit, he right. Cause I probably didn't, 100 million people didn't probably seen my face just through all of my shit out there. So it's not just the podcast, And so, but what's very satisfying and gratifying is when people come up to me and they say, man, I love how you represent the culture. You make us look good. I love how, you do this. I love what direction is going in. You make us look good. And that was what I did set out to do. My intentions were to create a platform that balanced, as I spoke about in hip hop and rap, the balance, bringing balance to this space, because I didn't want to be exploitive. I understand there's a place for controversy. There's a place for all of that. I'm not even saying that those things shouldn't be there. But, I don't always just want to glorify, our wretchedness and our low points. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool. We can talk about them. We can be authentic about, our drugs, going to jail, gang banging. We can be authentic about those things. But I like to go a step further to peel the layers back to try to understand why those things are there and why we made those choices and then why we in essence made other choices and how we got through those things. So more of a testimony and more to humanize the culture. That was very important to me. I want to humanize us. We not just, innately prone to criminality. We're not just we're not just out here. Yeah, we're not just doing shit just because, you know what I'm saying? There are reasons behind there. And some of those reasons are uncomfortable. Some of it may be, systemic racism. Some of them may be, ripple effect from so many things that have been done to us. But then some of the shit is accountability too, and choices that we make. So it was important that I represented the culture in an authentic way, but then to humanize us. So that was the goal. That's why I really, enjoy what I do. And Revolt recognized that. I think they recognized that, even P told me. P was like, he said, bro, I think, because P started off calling me the hood. He was like, man, you like a ghetto Oprah. You know what I mean? And he was like, because he said you bring in these niggas that other platforms may be scared of, and they can't have them type of conversations with them, but you do it in such a classy, it's real and it's authentic, but it's in a classy way, And I said, well, yeah, that's who I am, but that was intentional. So Revolt, they recognized that. And so, we did our thing with Revolt. It's coming up on a year here pretty soon. And so, yeah, man, we've been grinding, bro. I've really, I've learned so much. I enjoy the journey. I understand the power of having a platform. And like I said, everybody calls themselves influencers, which is cool. But I always say, well, what are you influencing people to do? And again,
what do you consider yourself?
influencer. I mean, you could throw influencer, in there, but I consider myself as a somewhat of an ambassador and somewhat of a um kind of a conduit. I feel like I am the 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 median in which we articulate the culture to the masses. You know what I'm saying? So that's goes back to that humanizing part. I wanted those outside. I didn't just want to represent to the culture. I wanted to represent to the world and the people outside the culture that may not know, that's from the outside looking in. So, I feel like a spokesperson, an ambassador for the culture, I should say.
All righty. So now, since you really went over how you and Ken created the Holdin Court Podcast, as well as landing the deal with Revolt. Was there anything that maybe you didn't touch on, or you think you pretty much covered?
In terms of podcasting, no, that's pretty much it, man. I enjoy the journey. I love having the different guests that I've had on. I mean, I've had, from Snoop Dogg to, of course, Master P, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Man, who's Tiffany Haddish, Glasses Malone, all the Bone Thugs, with the exception of Wishbone, who will be coming to the show here in about a week.
Yeah, I seen that you reached out to him. So
yeah, so I've had some amazing guests, from kingpins to the top of the top, you know what I mean, in entertainment. Of course, Ice-T being, my OG, P being a good friend of mine. Yeah, man, listen, I appreciate everybody's support. I love that, creating something and creating a viable brand that people respect. And, I've created a platform that people actually want to come to. I have celebrities and celebrities teams reach out to me that want to come on the show because they feel like it's a good look. They're in good company. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I'm enjoying the journey, and I really am looking forward to showing the world just how I'm about to pivot and scale, because that's the other part of it too, man. Is a lot of times in our culture, as we kind of talk about business, a lot of our culture, we have businesses.